Hey everybody, I'm Kevin from I'm Not Childish. We're on our 6th episode of Why Me? Why me when it's good? Why me when it's bad? Okay, I've survived 1st and 2nd grade. I still have my green tooth. I have asthma. And I still don't feel comfortable around people. But not everything is bad. I think I said my parents built a house and all on a small farm, and luckily the house is air conditioned, so that helps my asthma. And since I hate the heat and humidity, at least I have a place to go to cool off, and I have a pretty cool bedroom. My bedroom is about as big as most people's living rooms. And I use it as like a studio for building models, cars, planes, ships, whatever. But I'm building stuff in there all the time. Plus, in the basement, my father has a shop, and so I can build wood stuff down there. And we got a shed, which I haven't learned how to weld and all yet, but that's coming up. I'm learning how to drive tractors, pull wagons, plow fields. We don't have any animals, but, they're coming too. So, not everything's bad. But now, I start the 3rd grade. And this year didn't have any real big memorable moments except for 2, and they're not big, they're small ones. The first one was, for some reason, I couldn't hear. And they came to the conclusion that my adenoids were somehow blocking my ear passages or whatever. Most people have tonsillitis and then have to have their tonsils removed. And when they have their tonsils removed, a lot of times they take the adenoids out as well. Well, in my case, it was bass-ackwards. So I needed to have my adenoids taken out. Now, why they didn't do it sooner, I don't know. But for a while, I had to sit in the front of the classroom, which was the worst place for me in the world, because you get picked on more, and I preferred about 3/4 of the way back in the room. Not all the way in the back, that's for the guys that are really slow. But far enough back that I could hide it as much as possible from having to have to do things. And then the other thing that happened was we all had to learn how to play these little plastic flutes, which they got some name for them, but anyway, see if you had any talent, musical talent, and then try to talk you into buying or renting an instrument. So I was starting to get into volunteering for things, and and trying new things out, not volunteering, just getting into things to see what they were like. And I wanted to play an instrument. So 4th grade is when that started. I got it, over the summer, whatever. We started debating what I wanted to play. I told my parents I wanted the drums. Well, that didn't happen. You can forget that shit. And yet I think now that was probably the only instrument that I would have had any talent with. But instead, they picked the clarinet. Now, if you're going to do a woodwind, at least make it the saxophone. I mean, they're cool. They're sexy if you know how to play them. Of course, I would have never been able to do it, but I didn't know that back then. But I couldn't have my drums, and I got stuck with a saxophone, with a clarinet. I guess I'm going to tell this story all the way through. So 4th grade, I start playing this damn thing. And I can tell you, out of the 4 years that I played it through the 8th grade, that I never learned which note was on what line. I can't even tell you what line on what, but you know what I mean. On the sheet music, I couldn't read it. All I knew is when I saw the little black circle at a certain place, I pushed certain keys or closed certain holes, and that's how I played. So I never did know, never memorized anything, just looked at the music. In middle school, we had a really good music teacher, band teacher and all, but he was mean. He would throw stuff at you, mainly his wand. He would throw that at you if you made a mistake or whatever. I was in 2nd clarinet, which at least I was in 3rd, which is the worst players, and of course he didn't know I didn't know how to do it. Amazing. I never turned anything off. And I even thought about it before I started this, that maybe I ought to shut my phone off. And just so you know, I finally got a smartphone. So now I'm trying to figure it out. Anyway, here we get, I survive all the way into the 8th grade. I got to play this damn thing one more time for a concert, and no problem. I'll just fake it like I normally do, play as little, just play the notes, do the thing, and get the hell out of there and quit doing it. Now, I partially felt obligated to go this far with it because I have this guilt feeling about doing something, starting something, and not feeling like I took it to some finish point. So I was there that night. My parents actually came. I'm sure my father was excited. That's a joke. And when I was just warming up, if you will, before we even went in, I blew into it and it squealed. Now, I don't know if anybody knows about instruments with reeds, but for some reason, if things aren't set right, they squeal. Usually the reed's not wet enough. I had like 3 different reeds. I couldn't make that thing work. I don't know why. I didn't see any. You can take them apart. I put it back together. I tried to pull. Anyway, we went into the concert. First note, it squealed, and I got the dirtiest look from the band director, from the our music teacher, and he was not happy. So I just faked it for a while, and I tried some things, and then I thought, well, I'll try again. And of course, it squeals again. This went on through the whole concert. And every so often I'd try, and then he'd look at me, and he was going to kill me, I was scared of him. I mean, he was scary. Anyway, for whatever reason, the last line of music, I tried one more time, and it worked. Why me? What the hell? I have no idea. So, talk about a confidence builder. That's sarcastic if you didn't know. I had to walk out of that place knowing I have no idea why it happened, what was the purpose, what was I supposed to learn from that incident. I have no clue. Luckily, he didn't care too much about me. He knew I was done anyway. He'd never have to put up with me again, I guess, and he just let me go, never said anything, and that was the end of my career with the clarinet. I'm now, through the fourth grade, and in the fifth grade, and I say fourth grade, I'm also through clarinet at the eighth grade. But also, I'll just say in the fifth grade, I started trying my own hairstyle, but I could only try it at school because my parents wouldn't have approved of anything I did on my own. Everything had to come from them. So, and I started showing a little interest in the women. There was two of them in the fifth grade that I liked, fairly easygoing, not the wild ones. So, but nothing happened. Fifth grade's over too, so now we're going into middle school, and that'll be my next adventure when I do Why Me number 7. So, thanks for listening. Talk to you next time.